Well, as firefighters continue to battle the wildfires outside of Los Angeles and law enforcement grapple with looters, scams, ordinary Angelenos are anxious to return to what's left of their homes, their schools, their businesses. Police have cautioned against returning to the worst affected areas, warning of downed power lines and other hazards. This has left many residents unsure of what survived in this fire and how much of a home they actually have to come back to. Our next guest is Tawyna Warren, a single mother whose rent-controlled apartment and business were completely destroyed in the Palisades fire. Tawyna and her son, Eli John, they both join us live now from the area. Thank you both so much for joining us. I'm so sorry for your loss. I could just hear you just the minute we start talking, and I'm so sorry. Please talk about your home, your business, your neighborhood. I've set it up a little. You're sitting there with your son. I have no words.
It's just, I still can't even believe it. I just feel like I'm in a dream. Like it was like just running, from our apartment and, thinking about, please God, just save my store or my apartment, but don't take both. Like, just don't, because it's all I have. Like, I was already struggling. Like, I tried really, really hard. I only had that location for 16 months. I opened during the pandemic in a different place. And it's like I had gone through bankruptcy and now it's everything on top of it. I had to spend Friday literally in court because I've been fighting to get back to child support and all of my evidence burned up. So it's just unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. And it's like I was beside a fire station on my rent-controlled apartment. My store was very close to the other fire station, and I thought, okay, I'll be fine if there's ever a fire. And it just wasn't that way.
Tawyna, when you left, we have some video that you sent me. When you left, you never thought in a million years that you would come back to nothing, because you saw at the time when you were evacuated, there were helicopters overhead. You say you have fire stations on both sides of you and your business. So you thought there's no way, right? There's no way in the world.
I saw the planes coming already and dumping. Like, I'm taking video as I'm leaving, and I'm like, we're gonna be fine. They're here. They're coming. It's just I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, and people are being so kind. It's like I'm reaching out for help to my friends, and I feel so bad because they're all displaced. So it's like friends of friends of friends. The network is really wide. And, I just feel bad for the repercussions of everybody. I mean, like, what about the gardeners and, the cleaning ladies who had 7 houses? Like, it's just unbelievable.
And you bring up such a good point, because there's this misconception that it's only, the rich and famous who live in the Palisades, and you and your son are an example in a rent-controlled apartment. You're a single mom. You had a small business there, all just gone.
Yeah, and it's like, how do you even decide what to do this afternoon, much less, it's all going to take so long to navigate. And if you're already living month to month like we are, like, what do you do?
Have local and state authorities made themselves available to you? How has the process been of accessing any aid? Have you been able to access any of it?
I went on the website and it wasn't working, so I was able to get on a phone call and, but then they wanted to mail something to me and I'm like, so, I mean, it's a process. It's going to take time. Like, and, even like during the pandemic, I have a jewelry friend, who lost the jewelry store, and just recently he got paid. Like, I don't even know, like, how it's going to work.
Well, from what we're hearing, President Biden has instructed California authorities to spare no expense in restoring the affected areas. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. We're going to have a change in the administration. Do you feel like local and state leaders are taking up that, the mandate? Or it's too soon to tell?
it's too soon. Like, unfortunately, I'm just like, where can I get a pair of pants? Like,
Right.
it's just a lot. Like, I'm just trying to get through
It's a
the
lot. You
steps.
are literally going through a lot, and you are fortunate. I see your son who's there right by your side, and he's rubbing your shoulder as you can barely handle all of it. Eli, Eli, how are you doing? I mean, how are you feeling, and being there for your mom?
Yeah, I mean, since I go to online school, I'm just happy that I was actually able to be with her the day of the fire. Normally she would be at the store and I'd be at home, but just by the grace of God, I had a dentist appointment and we were together. And because I go to online school, I try to help her in the store when I can when she goes to court, and I try to be there for her when I can, whether it's, cooking something when she gets home or just generally comforting her. And that's really just what I'm trying to still do now.
Describe that day. What time was this? Was this in the afternoon where all of a sudden you got the word and you're like, we got to go? And just like so many people thought they were coming back, so they left with the clothes on their backs. They're like, oh, it's going to be okay. Just like you, Tawyna, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be right back, and didn't really think much.
Yeah.
Eli.
Yeah, I mean, the day we left for the dentist, we left in the morning, fortunately, so we did have some time to come back. But yeah, I mean, we never expected that this all would have happened. We always hear in our area about, yeah, there's a fire happening
Hmm.
somewhere else, or there's a fire happening, nearby, but you just don't expect that it will genuinely be you. So, I mean, fortunately, we took what we could. We were stuck on the road for just 2 hours
Hours.
trying to even get past the street to our home.
Gridlock. Yeah, I saw the images and the videos. It was gridlock, bumper to bumper. Tawyna, again, every day people were affected in this. There was a mobile home park in Malibu up in flames. A lot of people living there. You have a rent-controlled apartments like you. You also brought up the point that you have a lot of people who were cleaning people, gardeners who worked in the Palisades who now have no work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be far-reaching. I mean, even the restaurants, think about the
That's
waiters,
right.
everybody.
That's
And it's
right.
like, it's just everywhere you turn, you try to talk to a friend and be like, are you okay? And everybody's just decimated by it. It's, you,
There's
you just, you don't know what to do.
Have you been back to the destruction? I mean, from the images we see, it's like a war zone. It's
No, all I have is the little slight videos that people were able to somehow get in before, and they tell us you can't get in at all. So I don't know how long it's going to be. I was fortunate that people could actually verify for me who were able to get in and sent camera shots and things. So, because, it was the whole not knowing.
yeah.
And I think that's what was really hard. Like, we'd see the videos on the news and you wouldn't know what street it was. And so finally people were able to say, you know what, sorry, both are gone.
And your apartment, you were telling me, in your neighborhood was like a slice of heaven, right? You'd go there, you sit out every night, you'd watch the sunset.
It's not about the things I lost.
Yeah.
It's about the sanctuary space. Like, it was everything. It was my peace. It was just, I would see the sunrise and the moon, and I would share it on Instagram. And so many people were like, we love that you get up so early and do this for us, and the waves crashing. So it wasn't really about the things, it was about the space. And everybody in our building was like, we're so fortunate to have this beautiful space.
Mm.
Just just you can see the Ferris wheel and just God, like the full moon and the sunset, and I'm just heartbroken about losing my peace.
And we really hope and pray that the state rebuilds and you're able to go back to the same place. How can fellow Californians and Americans help both of you?
Well, we did set up a GoFundMe page because we really don't know how we're going to get out of this. So I have the link, and then, my website is TanyaWarren.com, so you could reach out through there. It's TAWNYAWARREN.com. I'll have somebody put the GoFundMe link on there too.
That would be great.
Just trying everything. I have an Instagram page, TAWNYA_shop. So I just have been too emotional to put it up, but I'm sure Eli will handle it.
Yeah, you had a jewelry store, beautiful jewelry store with
Yeah.
that you put your heart and soul into, and now you've lost that. You've lost your home, but you have you and your son, and we pray that you will be able to go back to a home, and that you get your piece of heaven back, your slice of heaven that you loved so much. We really appreciate you sharing your story, and I know I'm just seeing the devastation and destruction in Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles County. I have family who lived in the Palisades. My family was evacuated out of it just doesn't seem real. I've never seen anything like this. Tanya, we send you and Eli so much love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.